Okay, listen up, guys. Good morning, everyone. Today is the 8th of Sivan, and we're on page 78 in your Chayeno. Today's Isru Chag. I hope everyone had a beautiful, wonderful, lichtige Shavuos, receiving the Torah and enjoying the Torah and learning the Torah. And we're going to continue by learning the Torah on page 78 in your Chayenu. Previously, we learned, based on the Arizal and the Baal Shem Tov's teaching, that each and every creation, even inanimate objects. Larry, we're going to talk about you today in the Tanya. Exactly. Even inanimate objects has a divine spark that brings it into existence. The divine spark being the words and letters of the divine utterances of creation. In today's lesson, the creative energy for all matter originates from the 10 utterances that are recorded in the Torah describing creation. But the letters of these utterances can be combined and manipulated in many ways in order to create many types of creations. Shem Evan, right? It's Larry Stone. So we're going to learn about the stone. Now, although the name Evan, stone, Aleph, Vez, Nun is not mentioned in the 10 utterances recorded in the Torah, so if they're not mentioned in the 10 utterances, how can we say that these letters are enclosed within the stone? Alpha Bikain. But it comes out, Nimshach, Chayus, La'evan, Ayidei, Tzivrufe, Vichilufe, Oisius. But by the way you find the word stone is by means of combinations and substitutions of the letters, which doesn't take much for the word stone. But there's every single creation is somehow a combination of letters that were uttered during the creation. So when you take an aleph, for example, they may place a hey instead of an aleph. They both have the same sound, and so forth. Hamiskalgalois, v'reish lamed aleph, she'arim panim va'achar, k'may shekasem sev yitzira. So there are different letters that are transposed in the 231 gates, either in direct or reverse order, as explained in Sefer Yitzira. Ad shemishtal shel ba'asara ma'amoris v'nimshach mehem tzedov shem Evan. Ultimately, the combination of letters that forms the name Evan, descend Aleph Vez Nun, descend from the 10 utterances and is derived from them. V'chayusei shala Evan, and this combination of letters then becomes the life force of the stone. And so too with all things created in the entire world. The Lashon HaKodesh, the Torah, the Hebrew of the Torah was the language used in creation. That's the language that the Eibishter used to create the world. Thus all things are directly affected by their Hebrew names, as well as by the components of the letters of their names. And in this, the Lashon HaKodesh is unlike any other arbitrary language, the meaning of whose words is a result of mere consensus. You want to call this a table? Otherwise, we'll call it we'll call it Bob. We can call it whatever we want. If everybody agrees, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. But when it comes to Lashon HaKodesh, it's because it came from its source, the way, and that brings it into creation. V'ashemais hanikrayim bahem Lashon HaKodesh hein oisis hadibur hamishtal shlis madrega v'asar mamash shabbatayra. The names of all creatures in the holy tongue are the very letters of speech which descend degree by degree from the 10 utterances recorded in the Torah. Aidei chilufe usmurais ha'isios chilufim usmurais ha'isios b'reish lamed aleph sharim ad shemagiyos u'mislavshes ba'isoi nivra l'chayosoi. By means of substitutions and transpositions of letters through the 231 gates until they reach a particular created thing and become invested in it and give it life. This descent, this whole process is necessary because individual creatures, unlike the more pervasive beings such as the heavens, earth, sun, moon, and stars, cannot receive their life force directly from the actual 10 utterances recorded in the Torah. Maybe that would be too much. When we talk about the sun, the earth, the moon, those do receive the light, the seed. Those do receive directly from the 10 utterances. But you have many things that cannot. Shachayus nimshach mehen atzmon gadol ma'od v'chiras anivraim pratim. For the life force issued directly from them is far greater than from the capacity of an individual creatures. Meaning, it's too far too intense to serve as their life force. ואין כוח בהם לקבל חיוסם אלא על ידי שיורד החיוס ומשתלשל ממדרגה למדרגה פחוסה ממנו על ידי חילופים וסמורס היסיס. They can receive the life force only when it descends and is progressively diminished degree by means of substitutions and transpositions of letters. If it was direct, it would be too powerful. So it goes through a process, by gematrias, shein cheshbon ha'osis, and by means of the gematrias numerical values. So the life force may also be, the life force may be so muted that by the time it reaches a created being, not even through a transposition of letters, but merely through their numerical equivalent, that's how they come into existence. Until the life force can be condensed and clothed, and a particular creature can be brought forth from it. Excuse me. The name by which the creature is called, or the thing, we mentioned Evan before, the creature is called in the Holy Tongue, that is a vessel for the life force condensed into the letters of that name. Which has descended from the 10 utterances recorded in the Torah that have the power and vitality to create something from nothing and give it life forever. Why does it have the power to do so? How? Because the Torah and the Holy One are one. Hashem and the Torah are one. Just as Hashem has the ability to create something from nothing, so too the 10 utterances of the Torah, which are really are Hashem, because Hashem and the Torah are one, have the ability to create something from nothing. So the takeaway is the Hebrew letters. This is the end of the first chapter of Sharichut Ve'emunah. The Hebrew letters are containers of godly energy. The name of an object represents the divine energy within that object. And we can take it one step further. Also the person. It's like Ruach HaKodesh, when the person's name is Levi Yitzchak or Eliezer, whatever the name may be, that has the holiness, and that's the keli for Hashem's blessing to bring that thing or that person into creation. So why is it the beginning of Shayichud Ve'emunah? Because you need belief and faith in Hashem that this is what happens. Okay, we're going to end here. Have a good day, everybody.